Hello YouTube, it's your girl Kwanai, and welcome to my channel Kwanai Covers, where I cover various aspects of entertainment. And today we are finally going to be doing something a little bit different, not a reaction, but we're gonna be reviewing Singles Inferno Season 2.
Finally!
In this video, we are actually just going to be going over episode 1 and 2. So that is my intention, to do it 2 episodes per video, maximum 3 episodes per video. And just talk about the things that I think were memorable in each episode and the highlight of that specific episode, just to not make the video too long. I will really try. So for those who do not know what Singles Inferno is, Singles Inferno is a Korean dating reality TV show, and they spend 10 days on a deserted island. On this island, they set it up in such a way to make it seem a bit like back in the days. So in order to cook, you have to catch a fire on a cauldron outside, and they give you limited ingredients to cook. So they have like set ingredients for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you have to cook whatever they give you. They have a part where you go and catch water, and it's a good walking distance from where the tents are. The tent is where the group of females and the group of males sleep. So it's one big tent with the little beddings on the floor where everyone sleeps in that tent. So all the girls share one tent and all the guys share another tent. What happens is that the goal is to couple up with someone in order for your chance to go to paradise. Paradise is basically a hotel suite that they rented out, that it's a huge ass room. You got a living area, you got 2 rooms, you got a pool, you got jacuzzi, you have access to a theme park. They make it as desirable as possible to be called paradise. When you go to the hotel, you can order anything. You're just gonna be spoiled. And then the pool water is not even cold. It's warm. It's warm pool water. I've never been in a hotel where the water in the pool is warm. At the end of the day, you have to write the name of the person you like and put it in their mailbox like a postcard. And if that person also picked you, that's when it becomes a couple. They change up the rule throughout the episodes to keep us entertained, but that is the fundamental basic of how it goes. Whoever you pick would have to pick you back to become a couple. But you guys know that's not how life is. People tend to like people and they don't like them back, and people tend to want people who don't want them. So it's not as easy as it sounds. So they introduced 5 females and 4 males. They made sure to pick fit and good looking people to come on this show. So there's gonna be a lot of eye candy for the girls and the guys. A quick rundown of the girls that were introduced. I'm just gonna call them by their first name because I cannot remember the entire name. We have seul-ki, and I'm gonna call her brown-eyed seul-ki. My first impression of her is that she really fits the standard Korean look. She has beautiful eyes, beautiful smile, small face, small frame, nice curves, nice boobs. A beautiful girl, very pretty. Then we are introduced to hot girl se-jeong, and I think she was so hot. She's definitely my type if I dated girls. She had a little more tan complexion, and I honestly think she looks like Bae Suzy, which is a very popular entertainer in Korea. She's just a little bit more tan and taller, but she is fit, she is sexy. She just looks really good. An interesting note though, whenever someone comes on a Korean dating show and they have tan complexion and they have a little bit more meat on their body, I realize that they love to call that person healthy. So it's like they would say, oh, she's very healthy. I'm confused why they say that. Is it that the persons who are pale and slim are not healthy? Like, what are you guys saying? Because it's just something I thought of and I had to make mention of it. The next girl we are introduced to is So-hee. She's just short and cute, very kawaii, kyo. That's what I thought when I first saw her. I think she chose to go for the cute concept. We're then introduced to my favorite, Lee Nadine, who is a Korean American. Her hair was jet black, her skin was glowing. I thought she had the best first impression to me because she also had a very unique looking face compared to the standard that I know from Koreans. I was personally drawn to Nadine, and then her voice, she has such a unique sounding voice, and apparently she speaks better English than Korean, so that's an interesting dynamic. And now the final girl that we are introduced to is Se-jun. And she came in a white dress. She was also quite pale and tall, and I thought, wow, she looks like she walked out of a fashion magazine, because I thought she checked every box for the Korean guys, and I automatically said she was going to be the most popular girl on the show. But she had a very inviting smile. When she smiles, you just see a lot of her gums, kind of like Jenny. So I really was attracted to Se-jun as well. So that is the female contestants, right? Now we're introduced to the male contestants. And the first one to enter was Jong-woo, who has a very perfectly straight nose and very perky lips. It's just like they made his nose and put it on his face. That's how perfectly straight and upright his nose was. And of course, he was fit and tall and sexy, as is expected of in singles Inferno, because Inferno is not just a play on the island being hot and deserted, but a lot of hot people are coming on to this show. So Jong-woo, he just seemed like a really sweet guy from the first impression. He wore light pastel colors. He gave me a good, soft first impression. The other male contestant we are introduced to is yoong-jae. My first impression of him is that he looks so inviting. He looks so calm. He looks so responsible. He was more tan than the other guy, and he looked more natural to me as well. I liked his first impression. He has a big build and he was tall as well. Cannot leave that out. And then his voice on top of all of that. We're then introduced to the ball of sunshine that is Hanbin. He's much shorter than the other guys that came in, but he looked like he had a great personality. I also thought he looked very natural and welcoming, similar to yoong-jae vibes. He looked more bright and a bit youthful to me. I'm not sure he's gonna be the first pick for the girls if we're being superficial. Lastly, we are introduced to Dong-woo, who actually looks very masculine, strong. Like, he looks more mature than the other guys that came in before him, and he has great proportions is what I thought when I saw him. So I thought it's a gamble, because I do think his face is not really off the standard Korean go-to, because even though he has this manly look, he doesn't have that small pretty boy face that they tend to go towards from what I've seen. He has more strong features, similar to how I think Nadine has more strong features, and I thought those two would actually hit it off really well if all goes well. So now that we are introduced to all the cast so far, don't worry, they're gonna add cast later on in the show. So let's get to the highlight of the show. Now that everyone has met each other, they toured the island, they all went, cooked, talked. At the end of the night, they have to choose who gave them the best first impression and write anonymous letters and put it in the mailbox of the person they like. So we don't really know who's writing to who. We can only tell by the hints that were given by what was written on the paper. So that is where the highlight of episode 1 comes in, where we get to see who's going to be the most popular, because there are scenarios where some people don't get any postcard, and there are scenarios where some people get all the postcard. So for the girls, everyone except So-hee got a postcard, and that's because, you know, there's 4 guys and 5 girls. One was bound to be without a postcard if everyone was gonna get one postcard. I think the other girls had a bigger impression than So-hee, and then she was also more reserved and quiet, and I don't think she made her presence known enough, and maybe that's why she didn't really get a postcard. I thought the person that was not gonna get picked is Nadine, not because anything is wrong with Nadine. I love Nadine, but because there are standards, I'm picking objectively on that. And based on the lines from each postcard, I'm guessing that the postcard to Se-jun was from Hanbin, where he was telling her she chopped onions good early in the kitchen. Nadine's postcard was from Dong-woo. He said in the postcard, "Let's work out together." And I recall the conversation between them where she told him that she worked out. The postcard for seul-ki is from Jong-woo, because he emphasized on how he likes a girl with a nice smile, and he wrote, "When you smile, your eyes light up." So my guess was that was Jong-woo. And the postcard given to se-jeong was from yoong-jae. There was a whole thing where he was helping her take something out of her foot when they went for a walk. So I wasn't very surprised that se-jeong got picked by yoong-jae in that moment. Now on the male side is where it gets a little bit more spicy. Hanbin unfortunately ended up getting no postcards, and it's sad, but it wasn't too shocking to me. Jong-woo got one postcard talking about how they like the pancake. I'm not entirely sure who that postcard was from, to be honest. If you guys know, you can comment that for me. And then we are left with 2 guys and 4 votes. That means one guy may have gotten 4 votes, or it's split 2-2, or it's split 3-1. But we'll never know until we get to episode 2, right? Okay, so in episode 2, my question is answered, and who gave Jong-woo the postcard was actually Se-jun. That one really shocked me because I didn't see where she had any interest in him. I was surprised by that. And here's how the votes went for the 2 final guys, that is Dong-woo and yoong-jae. Dong-woo got 2 votes and yoong-jae got 2 votes. Yoong-jae got 2 votes from the 2 girls he was walking around on the island with, that is se-jeong, who he took the splinter out of her foot, and So-hee, which is a short, cute one. And Dong-woo got a postcard from seul-ki, which is the one who went to get water with him, and Nadine, and I'm sure she's the one who wrote "Purple looks good on you," because it just sounds like something she would say. The most popular guys so far are Dong-woo and yoong-jae, right? So we now have a feel of what the girls think, but remember, this is just first impressions. This can always change once they've had a conversation with each other, see each other the next day, and start to interact more with each other. So he didn't get any postcard, but instead of wallowing in that sorrow, she became very proactive. She went straight up to yoong-jae to let him know that she's interested. Like, she didn't cut any corners, and I found that very impressive and courageous of her. But it seemed like he wasn't really set on her. Matter of fact, he gave his postcard to se-jeong, and he doesn't seem set on her either. So he wasn't ready to say, oh yeah, okay, let me get on this ship with you. So he was more like, well, I gotta get to know more people first, but thank you so much for being so upfront about it. In the true fashion of every Korean reality dating show, there's a moment where they have to play a game to win a chance to go on a date. So the girls did a chicken fight, which you guys know what that is from Ramen and Chill, where you lift up one of your foot, you try to hit the other person while on one leg, and whoever has 2 feet on the ground loses. So whoever has their leg up the longest wins. And it ended up being So-hee who wins in that game, and she picks yoong-jae, which is the guy she confessed to earlier that she likes, and Jong-woo, simply because they told her she needed to pick 2 people, so she just picked Jong-woo. And they went on a little date thing with the 3 of them, which is awkward, and it was like Jong-woo was the 3rd wheel because So-hee was really just interested in yoong-jae right there. He seemed fine with it because his eyes was on someone else, and that was seul-ki. Now the best part of episode 2 is where we get the first set of coupling to happen to get to go to paradise. And remember, you can only get to go to paradise if whoever you picked you. Then you guys can go together. What happened is Nadine and seul-ki both chose Dong-woo, but surprising enough, Dong-woo had actually sent Nadine a postcard, but he ended up picking seul-ki. I don't know what that small conversation did that they had early in the day where he was calling her a shrimp, because he had a conversation with Nadine and he also had a conversation with seul-ki in that day before they made the choice. And I think Nadine showed that she had an interest in him. I guess seul-ki also did. Seul-ki made sure to wear her nice red dress, so the girls were showing a little bit, and I felt like he was lost in the girls, and that's why he just picked seul-ki, because I thought he was gonna go with Nadine. So I wasn't very happy about that choice, but you know what, I was like, okay, let's see how this turns out. So seul-ki and Dong-woo ended up going to paradise together. On the other hand, we had yoong-jae being the most popular guy there, getting 3 votes. He got a vote from se-jeong, he got a vote from se-jun, and he got a vote from So-hee, of course. And he ended up picking se-jun, which I thought that was out of the blue. I mean, she just had one conversation with him a little bit before they were about to pick, and he suddenly just fell for her. So scrap every conversation he had with se-jeong and was laughing with her. Scrap the fact that he confessed, hey, I like you. he just picked Se-eun. I think Se-eun was just his type from the beginning, and he didn't know if she was interested in him, and the fact that she finally spoke to him, he was like, okay, she is interested or she's open, so let me pick her. So Se-eun and yoong-jae ended up going to paradise together. Only 2 couples ended up going because everybody else picked someone who didn't pick them back, and that's the rule of the show. We know that jong-woo picked seul-ki, and we know that Hanbin picked Se-eun. Now, what makes this interesting is that although yoong-jae was very popular among the 3 girls, the fact that So-hee confessed her feelings and he didn't pick her shows that he really has no interest in her. If I was So-hee and I told the guy I liked him right before we were supposed to go to paradise and he didn't pick me, I would take that as him not being interested personally, and I would have just kind of stepped back, but that's not really what she did, but we'll talk about it more in the other episodes. Okay, so that's pretty much it for episode 1 and 2 for now, and I'm gonna do the other 2 episodes on another video. I'll try to improve as much as possible. I hope you guys like this. If you guys do want me to continue talking about Singles Inferno and giving you highlights, you just need to like the video. If we can get this video liked to 10% of the view it receives, then I'll be more than willing to do more Single Inferno highlights and reviews for you guys, and I'll try to make it even more entertaining. You all get better at this, but I'd like to know that there's gonna be some support on the video. I see that you guys didn't really rush to watch my review on Ramyeon and Chill. It's okay, no hard feelings, kinda. I'm willing to give this review thing a go again. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today, and I don't really mind talking about this, but I'd like to know that I have more people that want to talk about it with me, because you know Singles or Inferno only gets juicier by the episode, and I really want to get to the point where we're talking about those parts. We'll catch you on the next video. It's your girl Kwanai. Bye.